Hello, Eight of Cups family. Welcome to Eight of Cups Tarot. I wanted to drop in and do a little bit of an eclipse special for you guys. I'm going to do specific readings for my last set of June readings, foremost watched videos. So you guys, Cancer, Leo, Sag, and Virgos are all getting a bonus reading for the eclipse. But really quick for everybody, I wanted to talk a little bit about this energy. I wanted to jump in mid-month for all of you in one way or another to talk about how important the energy is and how important it is for us to take advantage of this, to use it to our highest advantage, right? We can make so much progress if we look at this in a really positive way. There's parts of this that are going to be frustrating, especially for my fixed signs. We're going to want to keep things the same. We're going to have to be dealing with fear and instability. But the thing about this energy that it's really more internal, and I've been saying this in my readings, all of these planets are going retrograde this month. This energy is truly internal. Now, for some of you, yes, you probably have some very real things happening in your life, you know, moving, new jobs, relationships, all kinds of chaos, breakups, get backs togethers. It's all kinds of crazy out there, but it's a result of what's going on within us. So it's a pretty good indication, because everything has this square to Neptune, making it so fuzzy and we can't really quite figure out what's going on. Can't really figure out who to believe or what to believe, or is this real? Do we have enough? Are we enough to do these big changes? Coming up with a lot of internal processes that we're breaking through, and the Saturn-Uranus square is urging us to find freedom from these things, which means we have to change our mindset. We can't change our lives without changing the way that we think, and that's why this Mercury retrograde in Gemini with this eclipse is all about our thought processes. How are we going to do things differently? We all want new stuff. We all want different lives. There's a lot of ways we were all really wanting this change to occur in our lives. Probably because there's some part of it, like, oh, if I could just have a different job, or if I just had a different house, or if I just found that right person, then all of life would be better. And the reason why you resonate with that is because there's a sense of freedom. Freedom from all of the things that we've been doing for way, way too long. So there's a combination of a priority shift, and there's a combination of a mental shift, and we start to see it immediately. These things manifest in our lives so quickly because everything's in these mutable signs, because everything's moving very fast, and because it's a very fated time period. Eclipses and Jupiter going retrograde in Pisces. This is a really amazing and beautiful energy if you allow it. Now, it's a different journey for all of us, and it's most likely pretty spiritual. You know, the spiritual awakenings, the new teachers that come into our life. And by that, I mean within relationships and job opportunities, you know, all of these things have a bigger lesson. And so I wanted to approach these particular readings in a pretty high level area. I want to work with some pretty conscious energy, and so it's not really a they feel this way and you feel this way love reading. We're going to dig into the dynamics and the history, and I'm only using Kim Krans decks, which is really exciting. I've got her Animal Spirit, her regular tarot, which is close to the Rider White, and we've got the Archetypes. So we're going to really get into it. I'm excited for these readings. I've been looking forward to this for a while, and I do hope that you guys really enjoy. Please do not forget to like and subscribe the videos. We're working on opening up the channel. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. See you in a minute. Hello, Leo. Welcome to Eight of Cups Tarot, and welcome to your bonus reading for this eclipse. This reading is based very much on a relationship or situation. I've pulled energy for you and energy for the person that you're dealing with. I've pulled a 5-card spread on it and an archetype, which will tell me, you know, where we're at in the situation. So getting to these cards, the archetype card is that of the desert. So my guess is there's probably some kind of a separation between two people here. The desert can represent, you know, going a long amount of time maybe without seeing each other or speaking to each other. You know, it's kind of the drought. Maybe there's been a pullback emotionally, maybe a little bit of a pullback spiritually or energetically. But I feel like it's an incredibly healing time if you allow it. The quiet, you know, one of the things that they talk about in the book, and one of the things that I resonate with deeply, my relationship with the desert, was how incredibly healing it was. You're very aware that it's not an easy environment. You're very aware that you're kind of have to succumb to it. The heat, the dryness, the extreme amount of land with absolutely nothing on it. It's very desolate. It feels lonely. In the night it feels very, very dark. It can be very scary. You know, if you're worried about your surroundings, there could be definitely a feeling of like uneasiness. If you are not speaking to somebody or talking to them all the time, you could feel there's a feeling like they're like the sand in the desert kind of slipping through your fingers. But I also know that in the quiet of the desert, in the dark, in the night, when you look up at the sky, it is the most incredible view. And I think that's a message that for both of you in this reading, in the time that you are away from one another, it's a time for you to work on yourself, to start to recognize like your own magic, to see your own stars, your own possibilities, to dream, to figure out what it is that you want, what direction you want to take. And the thing about the desert is that you never really intend to like stay there. You know, in the desert you have to at some point take some sort of shelter. And so to me it represents like a time period before you find your shelter. A time period probably when you feel very exposed. Your emotions are exposed. You're starting to feel them. There's really no denying it at this point. And it's probably divine timing. These eclipses, all these retrograde planets kind of making you do the internal work, going very internal. Because the universe knows that we need to be prepared for what's next. I often laugh because in, you know, the spiritual community or in astrology, a lot of people ask like, well, what's happening in the next couple of years? Are we really like, is the world going to end? No, the world's never going to end. No, the earth is never going to go away. The sun will never stop coming up. None of that will ever happen. But there will be change. And the thing about change is that you have to be emotionally stable in order to navigate through it, or else it could really kick your ass. And so when you look at people that are asking, like, is it the end of the world? You know, like people are like buying their food and stocking up on the dry goods in preparation. And at the same time, I think it's very important that we start prepping ourselves emotionally, prepping ourselves, you know, within the people that we're with. Like, I think about that a lot. You know, if the world were to come to an end in the next couple of years, like, wouldn't you want to make sure you are with your people? That you are near your loved ones, that you could stay together some way, that you are within your tribe. And so there's an element here that I'm picking up that you are missing a member of the tribe. There's somebody that can't quite physically be with you yet. And this energy that we have over here is that of the bear. And this card in this deck represents sort of the awakening. Kind of like the bear waking up from their hibernation, kind of sleeping through life. Kind of like what we were all forced to do through 2020. Like there was really nothing we could do anyways. So watch some Netflix, take a nap. And in 2021, you have to wake up. You start to realize that wherever it is you are, you probably can't stay there much longer, right? This is about like survival. This is about the bear needing to wake up and get moving and get out and obtain food, gather the supplies. And I think this bear is symbolizing an awakening within someone. That they cannot stay where they are any longer. That movement is crucial to life. That change is crucial to life. And clarifying that energy, we have the 10 of Swords, the 8 of Swords, and the World. So clearly something's over, okay? With the 10 of Swords, it's over emotionally. There's no healthy communication or no communication really at all. There's not a lot of emotional attachment. And I see this, like I'm looking at like these raindrops coming down, and I feel like it's the cleansing of all of the wounds. So it also tells me that there's acceptance. There's radical acceptance that whatever it is this bear was in, whatever cave or dwelling it's been in for a while, it is no longer the place that they want to stay. I don't think there's a whole lot of mental anguish over stay or go. Because the truth of the matter is it's been over for a long time. The World card. Whether this is somebody in another relationship, ending a partnership, ending a job of some sort, you know, a work contract. Your heart hasn't been in it for a long time. And yet you stay. 8 of Swords. And the 8 of Swords, who really becomes apparent when Mercury is retrograde. Because like our mind plays tricks on us. That's what the mind does. That's what the ego does. It whispers to you like, oh, you know that thing that you really wish you could do? You're really not capable of it. You couldn't break free from that commitment, or you could never leave this thing because what would people think? Or, you know, how would you disappoint everyone? And it comes with all of like that baggage, all the things you tell yourself. This is like self-communication. These are the I don't feel enough. I don't feel deserving. I don't feel, you know, and to put it bluntly, if you're trying to leave one partnership to go to another, there's a part of you that feels like you don't deserve the happiness. And the World card does indicate to me that this is a pretty heavy karmic situation. You know, it's not just like leaving someone you've been dating for a couple of weeks and jumping to somebody new. This is a long commitment. This was painstaking. This was all of your energy, all of your time, all of your resources here. It's not easy to move on with the Ten of Swords because there's a time in which you have to recover, right? Like here's a butterfly kind of in the crustaceous, is that what they call it? the cocoon. And I think there's a period of healing from all of this. All these negative thought processes and all of that. And when you're there, when you do the healing, like energetically you're done and you begin to recover from the process entirely, but then you have to do it physically. Like you have to do the physical stuff. Like you have to file for the divorce, or you have to pack up your things and move out of the house. Like this is where it brings thoughts to reality. So it symbolizes an ending of a very painful process, which then awakens you. It makes you question, where do we go next? Where's the next home? Who's the next person? What is this next cycle about? And what I love is the bear is staring directly at this whale. I love this. Well, first of all, he is a beacon. I think this person, if this is you, Leo, I think this person is kind of a beacon towards your direction, towards where you want to move. They do have an incredible amount of presence and strength. But as well, they have heaviness. But they have a spiritual strength that can really, like, so powerful. I think it's funny, the lip going up here. And to me, the whale kind of does symbolize how absolutely profound this other person is to you. There's this bigger than life, big attraction, big emotional pull. Like I said, it's a beacon. It's probably something that your heart calls out to, or you feel like it's calling you to them. And clarifying that, we got this Mother of Wands and the Four of Pentacles. And this energy is kind of the holding back, having to hold back. Now, the whale is able to operate like at very deep levels of the sea that nobody has ever been able to witness. I just saw that on a TV show I was watching. How weird. But they can kind of go to these emotional depths that people don't understand. We can't understand. We couldn't survive that deep. The water is so frigid and cold. And I feel like the separation has you feeling like you're down deep in like this emotional place where it is very cold. And I feel like you feel stuck in this realm, in this place, because this bear hasn't made its way to you. And we have this Mother of Wands, and we have the Four of Pentacles, and this is like holding back your fire, holding back your passion, holding back your desire. Maybe this Mother of Wands is just simply an idea, an aspiration, something that you truly want. And maybe the Four of Pentacles represents you saving up. You know, like if this person wants to buy a big house, then that desire is tempered because you're going to wait. You're going to save your money. You're going to hold your resources, you know. And maybe this person is free and yet they're waiting for this bear energy. And so, you know, the desert alone is probably a place where we have to hold back our desires. There's definitely a feeling of being held back in some way. And next to that, we have this Wheel of Fortune and the Daughter of Cups, which tells me that whatever it is you're holding back on now, the situation is changing. It's in flux. The Wheel of Fortune. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to move quickly, but it does indicate that there is a direction. It does indicate to me that the situation will change, that you will find that shelter in the desert. And the Daughter of Cups is an offer of love. And it's finding that desire. And what I find, and I was only supposed to get, 3 cards, but I got a 4th. But then I noticed I pulled the bottom of the deck, which I didn't for Cancer, which is the 9 of Cups. And I just feel like you're in the 9 of Cups energy, making wishes, the desire for something, right? Manifesting something. This is your dreams coming true. And it all starts with the Daughter of Cups. And yet this Daughter of Cups becomes the 10 of Cups, which is the actual wish. This is the wishing, and this brings it into real life. So you can expect within the next, at least the next 6 months at most, this situation is going to turn around. And it might feel very desolate and awful right now, but you cannot get lost in the heaviness. You can't get distracted. You have to keep believing, right? And for the energy, for the relationship, we've got the Father of Pentacles and the Hierophant. And I feel like this is this energy, the bear kind of waking up, because here we have the Father of Pentacles, which is that very stable energy, which could sometimes get stuck, right? Stuck in situations. Probably due to the fact that there's like responsibilities, like we all just want to go get that fantastic job that we dream of, but we have to take our financial situation into account, right? And the Father of Pentacles is really weighing his responsibilities. But here we have the Hierophant, and I love the Hierophant, and I love when this comes out during the Saturn-Uranus square, because we have this bolt of lightning, right? And then there's this key. The bird is on the key. And lightning provokes the tower. And I see this Hierophant, this crow here, in the same energy as the bear, I feel. And he's clearly saying something, like he's using his voice and he's holding the key. So I think this Hierophant energy is the key to your freedom so that you can express your desire and love. And I feel like the lightning is like the voice of truth, because the Hierophant does symbolize the truth, our personal truth, our integrity. I get the feeling that this Hierophant energy doesn't really give a shit about the Father of Pentacles energy. Like there's this moment that happens and suddenly it doesn't matter, like, do you have enough in the bank account? You just do it because you know it's right. Because you know that this one thing, saying this thing or doing this thing, this moment of truth is the key to the path to the rest of your life. And the only thing that's holding up this whole process directly underneath this Desert card is the Five of Cups. And this is where you get lost in the shame and the guilt and the resentment and the fear. This is all that emotional baggage that we carry. It's the emotional reasons why we can't do something. Like the Eight of Swords is the mental voice that says, you're not good enough, or it'll never work out, or you're gonna, like all the thoughts you tell yourself. And then the Five of Cups is more where you don't feel good about yourself. You don't feel good about the situation. You may feel like you're letting people down or disappointing somebody. I also get the feeling that maybe there's been a moment in which this Hierophant actually cut ties. And because he cut ties, he created this sadness, he created this separation. And with the Five of Cups comes regrets. And because we have the World card here, and because we have the Wheel of Fortune popping up here under there, the antagonist position is that of the Lovers, which is the choice. So I feel like there's pressure building, right, to make a decision, to make a choice. Which path am I going to take? For the Bear, I feel like the Bear is making the choice. You may also be making a choice. Because a Whale may get tired of waiting and know that he has to move on his own. And that's really like what it's all about. Like when you're with somebody, when you really truly love somebody. It's not about holding anybody back. It's about going at your own pace and holding space. Having compassion, understanding that not everybody is in the same place at the same time, ready to make the big moves. Everybody has their own timelines. Everybody has free will. And even if it makes so much sense to one person, the other person may not be on the same page. And ultimately, that's their choice. I think there's something probably within both of you that is a little afraid of that choice. Afraid that whatever path you choose, you may have to leave something or someone behind. But the Lovers card is an opportunity to find alignment. It's an opportunity to raise your vibration. It's an opportunity to be in a beautiful place, to be in a beautiful relationship. And it's a choice to do what's right for you. Which is ultimately what you always choose when you're at that higher level of vibration. And you should know that you should never have to lower your energy in order to be with somebody. I mean, look, we all have to be like human. We all have to like deal with each other. I'm not saying that like you can't go to work anymore because you have like that one coworker. I'm not saying you can't survive in the world. But in order to have like a long-lasting, solid relationship, you both need to be kind of in the same vibration. And when somebody's slipping, that's when things get a little crazy. People get insecure. You start showing that shadow side. There's doubt. There's accusations. There's trust issues. Because you could simply feel the difference in the vibration. And because you're the beacon, I think it's really imperative that whoever the whale energy is, I think it's important that you keep up the faith and the hope, like here again with the Hierophant, the faith. You stay in the high vibration and you continue to attract that to you. Because maybe your beacon is waking up this bear. Maybe you're both going to get unstuck when you see how much freedom actually comes from just simply making the choice. Simply making the choice to find shelter from the desert energy. And the outcome is the 6 of Wands. And that does indicate victory over the situation. It does indicate, at the very least, a victory for your ego. It is also a sign that you are attracting what you are vibrating at. So again, be careful not to slip into old negative thought processes like, oh, this is never going to happen. Oh, I don't believe in this, or just get scorned, or stay where you're at, or don't make the big moves. Because regardless of what's going on over here, you still have moves to make. You still have changes to make. And I get the feeling that once you start changing them, once you start doing the things that you know are right for you, this person follows suit. But it's a positive outcome. And I just want to point this out really quick. We've got this butterfly in the 8 of Swords, still like in the cocoon. And here he is fully developed, or whatever it is that butterflies do. You know? He's grown. He's transformed. He's transmuted. Love it. I love this energy, Leo. You guys have been having some wild readings. I love it. All right, Leo, I am going to leave it there. Really, truly appreciate this. Thank you so much for being one of my higher viewed signs. I appreciate you for everything, and I love you so much. I will see you soon in July. Bye.